Have you ever wondered what it would be like to travel in time? Imagine for a moment being able to zip back to the age of the dinosaurs or forward to a future filled with flying cars and robots. That's the allure of time travel, an idea that has captured our imaginations for centuries. Time travel has been a staple of science fiction and popular culture. From H.G. Wells' The Time Machine to the Back to the Future film series, we've been fascinated with the idea of hopping through time, experiencing different eras, and perhaps even altering the course of history. But what if I told you that time travel wasn't just a concept relegated to the realms of fiction? What if I told you that there are people who claim to have actually done it, to have journeyed to the past or the future? Sounds intriguing, right? Now, imagine if that could really happen. Well, some people claim it did. So, let's dive into their amazing stories. Meet John Titor, a man who claimed to have visited us from the future. Now let's delve into the fascinating tale of John Titor. This is a story that began unfolding at the dawn of the new millennium, in the early 2000s. A person using the name John Titor started posting messages on internet discussion boards. What made his post stand out from the crowd? Well, he claimed to be a time traveler from the year 2036. Yep, you heard that right, a time traveler. Titor shared that he was on a mission to retrieve an IBM 5100 computer from the year 1975, which, according to him, contained a secret feature crucial for the survival of his future world. Not only this, he also shared a series of predictions about future events, including a devastating civil war in the United States and the outbreak of World War III. His post stirred a lot of curiosity and excitement. People were hanging on his every word, dissecting his messages, and trying to validate his predictions. Some were skeptical, while others were convinced that John Titor was indeed a genuine time traveler. But here's where the story takes a strange turn. One day, just as suddenly as he had appeared, John Titor stopped posting. He vanished without a trace. His last message stated that he was returning to the year 2036. So what happened to his predictions? Well, the Civil War he predicted never happened, and World War III is thankfully still a thing of fiction. Many of his predictions turned out to be inaccurate, leading many to believe that John Titor was nothing more than an internet prankster. However, there are still some who believe in his tale, citing unexplained coincidences and anomalies in his story. So, was John really a time traveler or just a clever hoaxer? We may never know. But one thing's for sure. The mysterious case of John Titor continues to captivate our imaginations and fuel our fascination with the concept of time travel. Next, we have the strange tale of Andrew Carlson, an alleged time traveler with a knack for stocks. Let's delve into this peculiar narrative, shall we? In the early 2000s, a man named Andrew Carlson was in the limelight, but not for the usual reasons. You see, Andrew was not a celebrity, a politician, or a renowned scientist. He was simply an investor. But not just any investor. In fact, he was an unusually successful one. Andrew Carlson had a knack for investing in the stock market. He was so good at it that it raised more than a few eyebrows. So much so that he even caught the attention of the FBI. Yes, that's right. The FBI began investigating him for insider trading, which is a fancy term for cheating in the stock market. But here's where things get really strange. When interrogated by the FBI, Carlson did not confess to any sneaky tactics or illegal activities. Instead, he made a claim that was as astounding as it was unbelievable. He stated that he was a time traveler from the year 2256. Yes, you heard that right. A time traveler who used his knowledge of the future to make incredibly accurate investments. Now, as you can imagine, this claim took everyone by surprise. Was Andrew Carlson a real-life time traveler? Or was he just a very clever investor with a vivid imagination? The world may never know. Bizarrely enough, after his remarkable declaration, Carlson vanished without a trace. Some say he returned to his time. Others argue he simply went off the grid to avoid further scrutiny, but his disappearance only added to the enigma surrounding him. Whether Andrew was a time traveler or a very lucky investor, his story certainly makes us wonder. It's a tale that captures our fascination with time travel and the mysteries of the universe. And while we may not know the truth about Andrew Carlson, his story continues to intrigue and inspire our imaginations. Have you heard about the time-traveling hipster who appeared in a photograph from the 1940s? Now, if that doesn't pique your curiosity, I don't know what will. This all began when a peculiar photograph from the year 1941 started making rounds on the internet. This wasn't just any old photograph, mind you. It was a snapshot of the reopening of the South Forks Bridge in Canada. But among the sea of people donned in typical 40s fashion, one man stood out. There he was, smack dab in the middle of the photo, looking as if he'd just strolled out of a modern-day music festival. His attire was strikingly out of place. A graphic t-shirt, a hoodie, and even sunglasses, a style that wouldn't become popular until many decades later. Plus, he was holding a portable camera, a gadget far too advanced for the 40s. Naturally, this photograph sparked a flurry of debates. Some claimed it was undeniable proof of time travel, that this man was a hipster from the future who'd somehow found his way back to the 1940s. Others argued that the photo was a hoax, doctored to stir up excitement and controversy. Then there were those who suggested a simpler explanation. Perhaps this man was just ahead of his time, a fashion-forward individual who dared to be different. And the camera? Well, it could have been an early model available only to a select few. The debates raged on, and the photograph quickly became known as the time-traveling hipster. It's a fascinating tale, isn't it? A single image capturing a moment in time, yet raising questions that stretch the boundaries of our understanding of the universe. Whether this curious incident is a case of time travel, or merely a man marching to the beat of his own drum, it certainly stirs the imagination. It invites us to ponder the mysteries of time and space and the tantalizing possibility that time travel might just be real. Time travel or just a fashion-forward individual? You decide. So, are these stories true? Can we really travel in time? Well, let's take a moment to revisit our journey today. We've heard about John Titor, who claimed to be a time traveler from the year 2036, working on a mission to retrieve an IBM computer from 1975. Then there's Andrew Carlson, the man who supposedly made a fortune overnight by making high-risk stock trades, attributing his knowledge to time travel. And let's not forget the curious incident of the time-traveling hipster, spotted in a 1940s photo with modern-day accessories. These stories are fascinating and stir our imagination, don't they? They make us wonder if time travel could indeed be a reality. Now let's delve a little deeper into the science of it all. According to Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity, time travel might be possible. It suggests that space and time are intertwined into a four-dimensional fabric called space-time. But to travel through time, one would need an extraordinarily high-speed vehicle, something even faster than the speed of light. Now, that's a tall order, even for our advanced technology. Stephen Hawking, another brilliant mind of our times, was also intrigued by the concept of time travel. He proposed the concept of wormholes, tunnels in space-time that could potentially allow us to travel back and forth in time. But it's all theoretical, and there's no concrete evidence to support these theories yet. So is time travel fact or fiction? The truth is we don't know yet. Science is constantly evolving, and maybe one day we'll have a definitive answer. Until then, the concept of time travel remains a fascinating topic of discussion, a playground for our imagination, and a staple of science fiction. In the end, whether time travel is possible or just a figment of our imagination, these stories sure do make us dream of the possibilities.